Some people live boldly. Others take boldness to a level evolution never intended. In this episode, we're diving into true stories of individuals whose final moments were shaped not by bad luck, but by spectacularly bad decisions. These are the tales of people who challenged physics, ignored common sense, or tried to prove a point the universe simply wasn't willing to entertain. You'll hear about inventions tested in the worst possible way, improvised tools that should never have been improvised, and brilliant ideas that went spectacularly sideways. Each story is real, documented, and almost unbelievable. The kind of thing that makes you laugh, wince, and question human judgment all at once. If you love dark humour, bizarre history, and the strange comfort of knowing at least you've never done anything this reckless, this episode is your perfect dose of morbid delight. Press play and prepare to meet the people who took natural selection personally. Hello everyone, welcome to episode 43 of Spooky and Kooky. I'm Ellen.
I'm Alice, and as always, if you're into anything horror, paranormal, conspiracy, even a bit of true crime, then this is the pod for you. And before we get into today's episode, I've just got a couple of things to say, as usual. But I just wanted to say for a minute that we've had a couple of new subscribers, a couple of new people popping up in our comments, so we're really happy to have you. Thank you, we appreciate it. Secondly, me and Ellen took a brave step the other week. We went live on TikTok for the first time ever.
We did.
And we met some lovely people. We went on a channel called True Hauntings. They are a paranormal investigation group in the UK. They have their own YouTube channel that I will tag down below, so definitely check them out. And our live is over there.
And they're like the real deal of what... Like, we want to know about paranormal, but we're not willing to seek it out. They seek it out, and they have seen some things, so...
Yeah, and they want to do it themselves because they went on a couple of group ones, and they said that they found some things were being put down to being paranormal when it could have been otherwise explained, so they wanted to prove it to themselves, and that's what they do, so we love that.
Yeah.
And we will definitely have to go live with them again because an hour wasn't long enough to chat about all the spooky and kooky stuff that we wanted to chat about, but also we said we would go on a paranormal investigation with them sometime.
Oh my God.
So
we're going to put our money where our mouths are. I'm so scared.
Same. But that will be really cool, and we were really thankful that they were just so lovely and so easy to talk to because, as we've mentioned before, we're quite socially awkward.
Yeah.
So that was really, really nice. The third thing I want to just talk about
there's
quickly,
another talking point. Okay.
is we would have finished our Mystery Snack Files mini-series a couple of weeks ago. We do the mini-series. Me and Ellen would really, really like to be able to do an episode a week, but it's just not feasible with the amount of research we have to do and working full-time jobs, yada, yada, yada. But we do these mini-series to kind of give something a bit extra. So we've done one on cryptids, we did the 12 Days of Creepy Christmas, and we've just finished Mystery Snack Files. Our next one, we think, is going to be on curses, because our last episode was on curses, and we really enjoyed that. But if you have any ideas of a mini-series that you would like to see, put it down in the comments below, or our DMs on Instagram are always open for content suggestions, so reach out to us there. But that is all my talking points.
That's everything. Okay.
Yeah, and today's episode, we came up with the idea of it, I believe, in our Dyatlov Pass episode, on a tangent we went on.
Yeah.
And it comes with a song.
Dumb ways to die.
So we're going to be going through cautionary tales of human stupidity.
It does make me feel better about myself, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
When I was looking it up, I was like... Wow, it makes me feel so much better.
Yeah.
And I kind of, like you, I didn't want to look and find ones that could possibly relate to my life, like some sort of Final Destination thing.
Yeah.
And none of those were. I was like, none of those will ever happen to me.
So I was actually really scared to look into this, and this is a safe space here. We can talk freely. I'm terrified of death.
Yeah.
I'm really terrified, and I think it's like the unknown.
I was going to say, if someone could say, I can tell you how you're going to die, you don't know when, but it's how you're going to die, would you want to know?
I wouldn't want to know how I was going to die, but I wish we knew what happened after you die, because the unknown is it just nothing? nothingness.
Or reincarnation.
Or is it like, you know, the spiritual realm, which is probably why I'm so interested in the spiritual realm, because it's almost like it gives me something like, if I die, at least I'll be around somewhere. I just don't want there to be nothing, but then you deep it and think, well, if it's nothing, I won't even know it's nothing. But it's just, it's a fear of mine.
Or do you become like this omnipotent being that's just, you see everything, you're just...
Yeah. Or as Kieran says, do you get carried off in an alien spaceship and go to the creators? Maybe. Kieran's my partner, and you can see how well matched we are just by that statement.
Maybe this life is the trial, and then it gets better.
Yeah.
I'm going to say
Or gets worse, depending on what you do.
No.
Depending on what you do here.
Yeah, maybe that's the heaven and hell concept, but it's just not.
And they'll
religion.
Look at us in this podcast and be like, you have done so much good for the world.
You're going up and up.
No, so I was really afraid to look into this, but like you, none of these are things that I would ever do, so it made me feel so much better. And obviously, death, it's a sad thing for anyone.
Yeah.
But we can always learn something, so cautionary tales to just not fuck around and find out, because a lot of these things are fucking around and finding out.
Just maybe pause and just think, what could happen if I do this?
Yeah. And we're going to go back to back.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start us off with a story, but before we do, another.
The fourth point.
I just wanted to give an honourable mention, and we're not going to talk about it because we've done a whole episode on it. So if you want to hear the full story, go to Nautical Nightmares, which is about the Titan sub disaster. And the dumb way to die, it's not any of the people in the sub other than Stockton himself, because he was told categorically so many times, this will be a catastrophic implosion, and he was like, bet.
I don't think so.
I'm going down to the Titanic. So
haters gonna hate.
Yeah, that was my honourable mention, but we're going to kick it off with a well-known case, and it's from Florida, so... So on July 8th, 1999, SeaWorld employees arrived for their morning routines and instead discovered the body of 27-year-old Daniel Dukes. He was inside the orca's enclosure known as the G-pool, draped across the back of Tilikum, the 12,000-pound male orca already associated with a previous fatality. Dukes had visited SeaWorld the day before as a regular guest, with no known connection to the staff or operations, and after entering during normal hours, he simply didn't leave. Investigators later concluded he hid somewhere inside the park until employees were gone, and because there was no surveillance footage showing how he moved through the restricted area, it remains unknown how he reached the orca tank. Tilikum, the largest orca in captivity in the time, was kept in the G-pool, also called the breeding and research pool, and due to the size and his history, trainers never swam with him and guests were never permitted near him. When staff found Dukes around 7:30 a.m, he was unclothed, his clothes were located near the pool, so he took them off before he went in, and emergency responders noted lividity and rigor mortis indicated that he has been dead for several hours. There were no witnesses, no videos of him entering the water, which I find strange because I know they have cameras in that pool.
Yeah.
So
That's
I
weird.
don't understand how there's no footage.
How they don't know how he got there.
Or even saw the attack.
Yeah.
Because there's cameras in that pool, there's cameras around the park, but on that day there was just no footage. It seems a bit far-fetched for me.
But then equally, what would the footage show? Like, an attack is an attack. I don't understand what they would be hiding.
Exactly. So I don't know why there's no footage. I'm not making any allegations against Seagull being shady. We've all seen that fish.
Yeah.
However, I just find it a bit far-fetched that there's no footage of how he...
It's weird. There definitely is.
Yeah. And they just saw it and was like, get rid of it.
Whoops, delete.
So there's no way to determine whether he slipped, jumped, or intentionally swam. The Orange County Sheriff's Office found no evidence of foul play, and the medical examiner ruled the death an accident, leaving unanswered questions about why he entered the pool and how long he was in the water, and how he avoided detection during SeaWorld's overnight checks. So yeah, if you've got orcas in captivity and dolphins and that other sea life, surely there is someone on site at all times? Even just security.
Just doing a patrol and you would see that matey floating around.
It doesn't make any sense. Tilikum remained at SeaWorld until his death in 2017 from a persistent bacterial pneumonia at approximately 35 years old, but his stories began a decade earlier. He was captured at the age of 2 off the coast of Iceland in 1983, and he spent months in a concrete holding tank before being shipped in 1984 to Sealand off the Pacific. And at Sealand at the Pacific, he had killed one of the workers there, and then after Duke's death, he had pulled in another trainer at SeaWorld, Florida, and I think after that they must have just been like, we just need to keep him away from everyone, because even though they weren't swimming in the water with him, he was still doing shows. They just didn't get in the water. But obviously, I think they're not known to be aggressive in the wild, but when you have them in captivity...
Orcas?
Well, to humans...
I think they are.
No, they're not to humans in the wild.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I don't think anyone's died from a killer whale attack in the wild. It's only been in, like, facilities, like, I'm sure they went through it in Blackfish.
They're very aggressive.
They're very clever and very aggressive hunters.
Yeah.
But apparently with humans, they just don't hunt us. And I don't know why, but I'm sure.
But they eat seals, and if we're in the water,
Let me double check that.
it just seems weird because they're such aggressive hunters and so cruel with like playing with their prey. I can't imagine that they would see us and think, nah. I think if they came across a human, they would probably kill us.
So it's extremely rare, with no documented human deaths caused by orcas in the wild. Only one documented case of a wild orca biting a human exists. A 1972 California surfing incident, likely due to mistaken identity.
Yeah, so I think that's the case. Like if they saw us,
But that's one.
yeah, but is that just because we're not in the water where they
maybe.
are? Because I imagine if they saw us, it's fair game.
Yeah.
The same with sharks. The same with
But
anything.
apparently with this Daniel Dukes, it's not like they hunted him to eat him. They
That's why I think they're a bit psychotic, because they literally just kill
They
for
mutilated
jokes.
him, and then he swung him on the back of him. However he did that, I don't know. So obviously they don't have hands. But I imagine like maybe he was in the water and
He
he
just
like, from
flipped him
underneath.
up,
Yeah. And he was parading him round on his back. He's a serial killer whale.
I mean, it's fair, it's fair play. At what point do they think maybe we shouldn't have taken him out the ocean? And at what point do they not just think let's put him back in the ocean?
But I think at this point, because he had shown aggression to humans, they can't put him back in the wild because they think he would hunt humans in the wild.
I mean, that's our own fault.
It literally is our own fault. But that was I thought of that one before doing any research, because I was like, realistically, I'm never ever gonna jump into the tank of an orca at SeaWorld.
Or just get in any enclosure
No.
with a wild animal.
Do you know, back in school, I dated someone. This is quite a funny story. He was very overconfident, very, I don't know what the word is, but overconfident, cocky, arrogant. And he had this fantasy plan of breaking into Marwell, which is a zoo close to us, breaking into the zoo after closing hours and fighting a silverback gorilla.
Why? What did the gorilla do to him?
Why is a good question, but also, why did you think that was going to end well for you?
Yeah. Well, that's the cockiness, isn't it?
And I think when you said, why, what's a gorilla done to you, I think it would almost be a point that he could then go out and brag.
Is it clout?
Like, I beat up a silverback gorilla, when really he would have been pummeled.
Yeah.
But he never did it, because ultimately, cowardice.
My next story.
If he ever did it, this would be included in it, and I would take great joy in telling the story.
That is the most ridiculous thing.
I'm surprised I haven't told you about it before, because when I hear like friends and that, and they date awful men, and we're just swapping stories about men in general, I say, I used to date someone in school who was that arrogant. They were going to fight a silverback gorilla. They never did, but they were planning
There's
to.
still time.
And it wasn't a throwaway thing. This went on for a year and a half.
Oh my god.
But he was talking about it.
How old would he have been at the time? How old were you?
I was 15, he might have been 16.
Old enough to know better.
Old enough to know better, young enough to...
Maybe do it.
Yeah. Yeah. But he never did, fortunately, for the gorilla, because obviously he would have absolutely owned that guy. Oh, I love that story so much.
That's jokes.
And I get the same reaction every time of... But that's what reminded... When I saw Blackfish then and I heard of Daniel Dukes, I was like, could have been him. Could have been him with the gorilla.
Should have sent it to him.
He probably would have... Because Daniel Dukes, obviously, he took his clothes off before getting in the tank, and they thought it was like he wanted this spiritual swim with a killer whale. And people speculated that he might have been on some hallucinogenic substance.
No, because he waited around. Like, it would have worn off and you would have thought, this is
And
done.
the toxicology, he wasn't on anything. So he just wanted this spiritual experience with this killer whale, got naked. And I thought, he would have probably got naked too, just to have, like, a measuring contact. Get proper feral, animalistic. He's such a catch. Whoever ended up with him, you've got a solid one there.
You've got a real one. That's what I look for in a man, just someone I know could beat up a silverback.
You go to his yearbook and it's just ambition. Sneak into Marwell and beat up a silverback gorilla.
Oh my god.
Oh, anyway.
Right.
Oh, we thought this was going to be a short episode and we're at 20 minutes and we've covered one story that probably took 3 minutes to tell.
Well, you did have 4 talking.
It's important. I've got to give people the updates.
Well, my stories are actually much shorter than your ones, so I think I'm going to rattle through mine quite quickly.
Okay.
This one is called The Lawyer and the Window That Didn't Break. I think it's one of my favourites, actually. And this was
strong.
Toronto, 1993. Gary Hoy was the kind of lawyer who loved a dramatic flourish. Sharp suit, sharper mind, and a reputation for being both brilliant and a little theatrical. One of his favourite party tricks at the office was showing off the strength of the skyscraper's windows. He'd say, "These things are unbreakable," then take a few steps back, run, and hurl his full body weight against the glass. Colleagues would gasp, then laugh as he bounced off unharmed. He'd done it dozens of times.
Do you know what our faces would be doing if we were in there? Just like...
The eye roll.
Okay.
Is that meant to impress me? I know someone that you'll love.
With a little hammer, putting a crack in it.
On this particular day, the office was hosting a group of law students. Gary wanted to impress them, and he took his usual run-up, slammed into the glass, and once again the pane held perfectly. But the frame didn't. The entire window unit popped clean out of the building,
Jesus.
And Gary fell 24 floors. The glass never shattered.
Oh my god. If there is a life after death, he was sent there like, I told you.
That glass is unbreakable.
That's a fact, the glass is unbreakable. Thank you for proving that to us, Gary.
It did exactly what it was assigned to do. The frame simply wasn't built for the repeated lawyer impact testing.
The fact he didn't choose different windows, even with the same window.
Jokes.
Oh, that was a good one.
Although those poor law students. Oh, Jesus Christ.
What do we do now?
And I just want to know, like, when they obviously got him off the window, they were like, damn, it really didn't break. Is it on his tombstone?
It'd be quite funny because the police looking at that would be like, well, it's got to be foul play involved, and then they interview all of his colleagues and they're like, it's just something he did.
Honestly, it's hard to believe, but he ran at that thing full pelt on the daily.
Okay, this is another Florida one because when I went to SeaWorld in Florida, well, when I researched the SeaWorld in Florida,
When did you go to Florida?
I was like, oh, it'd be good if I could find all of mine Florida themed because of like the Florida man meme and joke, but a lot of them were alligator attacks, so I've just moved away from that. But this one is also in Florida and you'll enjoy this one. In 2025, Florida recorded something that it had never seen before. A confirmed fatal black bear attack. It happened in Seminole County in a quiet residential area where wildlife sightings were common, but serious encounters were rare. The victim was a man who had been repeatedly warned by neighbours, by wildlife officials, and by the bear's own behaviour that feeding a wild black bear was dangerous. But he had developed a routine: peanut butter sandwiches, left out or hand offered.
Oh god. Hand off
As
it.
if the bear were a stray dog instead of a 300-pound wild animal with an unpredictable instinct. Over time, the bear grew bolder, approaching the property more frequently, associating humans with food, a pattern wildlife biologists called food conditioning, and one that almost always ends badly for both the animal and the person. On the day of the attack, the man attempted to feed the bear again, closing the distance between them in a way that violated every guideline that the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission had ever issued. The bear reacted defensively, and the encounter turned fatal before help could arrive. When investigators pieced together the timeline, they found a long history of warnings and documented reports about the man's interactions with said bear. Officials later emphasised that the bear's behaviour was not abnormal.
Aww.
It was the predictable outcome of a human repeatedly crossing boundaries that exist for a reason. The incident became a sobering milestone, the first fatal black bear attack in Florida ever recorded, and a reminder that even the state's gentler-looking wildlife is still, at its core, wild. So he fed a black bear a peanut butter sandwich
With his hand. Yeah, that's crazy.
multiple times, but just over time it...
Because at first I could kind of relate. There's a lady whose TikToks I enjoy to watch, and she feeds grizzly bears on her porch, but she doesn't hand feed them.
Are they the ones that like come into the house? And
No,
they're like,
they don't come in the
I love
house.
those TikToks where you just see a grizzly bear walking in through the door, and they're like, "Oh my god, what do we do?"
But they'll like come out of hibernation and go to her house, and she feeds them and stuff.
Aw.
And it's so cute, but I don't think
You-
she's ever been like.
But you're not even meant to do that. 'Cause you're
I
just
know.
inviting them in and getting comfortable.
But
saw
I would
another-
do that.
Yeah.
Because I'd be like, oh, that's so fluffy.
It's tempting. I saw another TikTok of a woman in Florida who lived like on a lake, and her back garden went down to the swamp or lake, whatever it was, and she was feeding the alligators. So they were coming up to the garden, and the TikTok was her neighbour being like, "Don't do that." Stop.
Yeah, I can a little bit relate to that. But I think that's just like, do you ever get these thoughts like when you're up a skyscraper and you think, I wonder if I jumped off it? Like you just get this
Yeah.
feeling to just jump off it. I don't know if it's
I get
that same.
when I go to London on the underground. I
Do
went
you?
there with a mate.
Or what if you just went off the edge?
Yeah, and I'm like, what if I just...
Yeah.
But the intrusive thoughts don't win.
No, well, that is the key here.
But I just like the way he was repeatedly warned.
By hand is like, I'm not doing
It's
that.
bold.
I'd maybe go as far as to get a litter picker and but not my hand.
But yeah, that's my one.
And do you know what? This is a tangent. But I took Rich to this little farm at the weekend, and it was like they shut it down so that no kids could go, and it was just adults, and you can feed the baby lambs and everything. But there were these two geese that were wandering around.
They're vicious.
Geese are scary, and Rich is trying to stroke them. And they're like hissing, and he's like,
He's that guy.
he's that guy. And I was like, Rich, leave them alone. And then one started pecking him, and he's like, oh, is he biting me? I was like,
You know,
Yeah.
the UK doesn't have many vicious wildlife because we don't have bears, lions,
No.
tigers.
we have boar though.
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
boar, but geese are probably like the common.
And
because
swans.
I've been chased by geese.
Yeah, people use them as guard animals.
And my dog, I used to take him down to a lake with swans on, and he had such beef with them, and they would just sit and chill, and he would just be standing like 20 foot away, like. So I'm like,
They're so
"Stop
scary."
squaring up." Are you stupid? Because I thought, don't square up to them, they might chase me.
And you know, if they actually did, that he would shit himself.
Yeah, he would probably run behind me, and I would have to deal with it. So every time I took him there, I was like, they're just swans, just leave them alone, and they'll leave you alone. But yeah, I've been chased by geese before, and it's
Yeah,
scary.
I just thought, this is it.
And when we went to the petting zoo in Rhodes, there was some goats, and one of them started like headbutting me, and it was like a tap, really. It wasn't
Yeah.
anything aggressive. And I was like, oh my god, it's attacking me.
Ow.
Just slow fall to the ground. I've been wounded.
I yield.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, anyway, I just thought that was wild to me. Like, leave the geese alone.
You know, you just said about intrusive thoughts. Something I was thinking yesterday, because I was driving somewhere at school kick-out time. and I live quite close to a school, so all
Yeah.
the children are coming across the road. And I was just thinking to myself, do you remember that game that was in school? I never played it because, again, I don't fuck around and find out. But Chicken,
Oh, yeah.
where people, so anyone who doesn't know, I don't know if it's just a UK phenomenon,
Surely not.
but school kids would literally like run out in front of the car, so they'd have to emergency stop. And I just thought, if one of these kids do that, my reactions aren't that good.
Honestly,
I would be so pissed.
I hate driving when it's school kick out because they're even like pushing each other and they're so close to the pavement, and
or
I
when they
can't
ride
deal with
their
it.
bikes, they're
my
doing
God.
like an S shape, and you just think, you want to like wind down your window. This is how you know you're getting old, like especially you damn kids. But I was thinking yesterday, oh my God, remember that game? I'm so glad that none of these kids are doing it, because then I would be just so annoyed because it's your own fault, but I'm gonna get in trouble for
Yeah,
it.
I'm crying and I'm gonna think about this forever.
Yeah, and then I started to think about something that traumatised me as a kid, and you'll probably think the same. Do you remember that advert that used to be on in the UK?
The
of,
car,
like,
the drink
if
driving.
you hit me at 30, there's
Yeah,
an 80% chance I'll live. If you hit me at 40, there's an 8% chance I'll die. And then that guy sat in his office and the kid's just under the desk. Like,
It's and when she's
Oh,
like,
look, look
it
it up.
reverses. I don't know if you can. Like, it's horrible. Do you remember when she's on the ground and it like rewinds and her bones like cracking? It was horrible.
there was a string of different adverts, and like at one point he was in bed and he opens her eyes and there's just a like zombie-fied child standing there, like.
Yeah, I
And that
do
was
remember
on
that.
kids' channels.
Yeah.
And it traumatised me.
I mean, it's probably
Haven't
very
seen it in
effective.
years.
Yeah, well, they won't play it now.
Yeah.
They'll never play that
It
now.
would have been effective if I watched it at that time, but I haven't thought about it in years until I was thinking about, you know, what if these kids play Chicken and I hit one of them?
Oh, God.
And then I thought of that advert and I was like, oh my God, that was really traumatic. Anyone in the UK will know what we're on about.
Well, that
It's
time
crazy.
for adverts just hit different.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Me and Rich always go back to that theft advert, and we're always like, do 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 do
You
do.
didn't steal a hand. Do you know what's more traumatic about road traffic accidents for me? In my junior school, our head teacher had previously hit a child with his car. So like every month we would have a road traffic safety assembly. And it was basically like the
He just
advert
projected
in
it.
the assembly.
He projected his trauma to all of the students.
Do you know what? It could have been a rumour that he hit someone, but I'm sure like the guy in the woods. But I'm sure I heard from my brother, he was like, he does that because he hit a child with his car.
So he's now trying to blame it on the children, like
It's
it was
more
the
just-
child's
I think
fault.
it's more like it haunted him. I don't think the child died, but I think it more like haunted him. So he was like, I'm going to teach you all how to be safe.
And it worked.
Oh, we used to have one every month. It was wild.
That's crazy. Oh God, right. Anyway,
Yeah.
This story is also a United States story. But do you want the title? It gives it away. But you know, the man who tried to prove his coat was fireproof.
Why is it all men trying to prove something?
United States, 1998. It started as a backyard demonstration. The kind of thing you'd expect to see on a low-budget infomercial. A man had invented what he believed was a revolutionary fireproof jacket. He invited his friends over to witness the unveiling.
Did you not test it on like the coat first?
Yeah. He put on the coat, stood proudly, and poured lighter fluid over himself.
Jesus.
People laughed nervously, assuming this was part of the show. Then he struck a match. The coat was not fireproof. He went up in flames instantly. Panicked guests tried to extinguish him, but the burns were catastrophic and he died shortly after. Investigators later found the jacket had never been tested, not once. His first trial was also his last.
Why wouldn't you test it outside, like just the jacket?
The
on the floor?
belief in that
Yourself.
jacket is unparalleled.
Also, did he not have? I can imagine he didn't even get a fire extinguisher in to be like, if this goes wrong, put me out.
Not because it's not going to go wrong.
No.
I know it's going to work perfectly.
I wish I could approach everything in my life with the confidence of that.
Do you know what? Oh, this is another tangent, but it reminds me of, I saw this really funny video of, I think it was like a Tesla one, where they were showing that the boot has this technology that it won't close on you. And this guy tested it with a carrot, like put the carrot in there first, and it sensed it and opened up, and then he put his fingers in there, and it just like full on closed on.
That's not as bad because he tested it with a carrot.
Yeah, he did test it with a carrot, but...
See, Tesla's technology is probably so clever that it was trolling him. The Tesla was like, I'm going to stop for the carrot, but if you put your fingers in there.
Try it. This is great marketing for us.
Okay, this story is not from the United States, it's from Japan.
Okay.
At Japan's Mount Mahara, a volcano known for its unstable ground and sudden gas emissions, authorities maintain strict barriers to keep visitors at a safe distance from the crater. Despite the warnings, a man bypassed the fencing and entered the restricted zone because he believed he could feel the Earth's energy more clearly if he stood closer to the crater's edge. According to disaster management officials, he walked along the area of thin volcanic crust, ground that looks solid but essentially is a brittle shell over the unstable, superheated terrain. As he approached the crater, the crust gave way beneath him. Rescue teams were dispatched immediately, but the collapse occurred in a section too dangerous for responders to even reach him. The incident was later documented in official reports as a fatal fall caused by entering a prohibited area, and it underscored the unpredictable nature of active volcanoes.
I mean, he really did feel the Earth's energy, though. He got
All-encompassing.
his wish. Damn. And surely, like, you can send a rescue team, but it's already too late, surely.
Yeah, and the
That's it.
rescue team just looked at him and was like, well, we're not going, that's too dangerous for us to go in and get him, and we're not going to save him anyway. And it was a prohibited area. If it's a prohibited area, why should we go in? We know the prohibited area is there for a reason. This man didn't, and he fell.
What can you do?
Literally, it's not on me. If I was the rescue team, that's what I would be standing there saying. Like, well, it is too bad. Like, obviously, like, RIP, but it's not my fault. It's not on me to save him now.
Yeah, well, you can't.
Yeah,
I'm not being
yeah.
incinerated.
The only thing that's going to happen if we all go into that prohibited zone is we're all going to go.
Yeah.
Do we want 1 casualty or 5?
Oh my god. The title of this one: The Inventor Who Tested His Own Guillotine. This is in
Come on.
This is in France in 1870. Franz Schmidt was an inventor obsessed with efficiency. His latest creation was a redesigned guillotine. Smoother, faster, more humane, he
That
claimed.
sounds like something you want to test.
With your own.
It's so efficient.
He invited officials to witness a demonstration, hoping for government approval. He explained the mechanism proudly, showing how the blade slid effortlessly, and then, in a moment that stunned everyone present, he placed his own head in the, lunette?
Okay.
I'm guessing that's
Yeah.
the
The little divot in it.
He wanted to prove how easily he could pull himself free before the blade dropped. This doesn't feel like he's showing its efficiency now.
Yeah,
this has turned into something else.
But also, why would you want to create a guillotine? We all know what guillotines were used for back in the 1800s in France. Why would you want a guillotine that people could easily free themselves from?
I don't think it was the freeing himself. I think he wanted to show how, like, precise it was, that it was not gonna, like, jam. Like, he knew exactly when it was gonna come down because it was so efficient and effortless. Well, he misjudged the timing. The blade fell with perfect precision, exactly as designed. The demonstration ended instantly and officials had their answer. The device worked flawlessly. It was ultimate proof of the concept, delivered in the most fatal way possible.
They were like, we're going to patent that.
That is clean.
Was it some sort of like, I don't know, because that seems like he had an ambivalence towards his own life or death.
Yeah, I think he felt like he had got it down to a T, like it was timed, like it fell the same amount of time every time. So he was like, this is how much I believe in my design, that it's not going to fail, that it takes this amount of time every time. I'm going to put my own head in it. And this is why you should do it multiple times before.
He could have used a mannequin.
Watermelon.
Or like, yeah,
A watermelon would be
a
great.
sack of sand. And literally anything apart from your own head.
What have I got
Even a
around?
prisoner who was sentenced to a guillotine.
Facts, yeah. Yeah, that's facts. Someone they were already going to execute.
It didn't need to be him. This one is just so ridiculous. A man in the United States once died in circumstances so baffling that investigators struggled to understand what he and his friend thought would happen. According to police reports, the two men had been drinking when one of them came up with an idea he believed would prove how tough he was.
Was it fighting a silverback?
Again, why is it all men trying to prove something to the world? It wasn't fighting a silverback, it was arguably more ridiculous.
God.
He wanted his friend to shoot him in the chest with a shotgun. To soften the impact, he held a pillow against himself, convinced that it would act as a makeshift shield. His friend, equally impaired by the alcohol and apparently trusting the plan, fired the shotgun exactly as requested. The pillow, of course, did nothing. Emergency services were called, but the man died from his injuries. His friend, shaken and confused, told officers that the entire thing had been the victim's idea, a drunken dare that spiralled into tragedy. Investigators later described the case as one of the most preventable deaths they had ever encountered.
It's like my abs are so rock solid, the bullet will just bounce off.
But I don't know, it doesn't say in what I had written, but I don't know if that man's charged with murder.
Would you believe his story? No, honestly.
But I guess you would see the pillow and... I don't know.
Honestly. That is ridiculous.
But this is like, obviously in the UK, it's good that we don't just have guns because people cannot be trusted. Like, to get drunk and just be like, just all be actual jokes and show how tough we are. I'm going to survive a shotgun.
Shoot me, I'll be fine, I know it.
A shotgun plus to the chest.
Yeah, of all the guns.
Yeah, and then the matey's probably like, oh, you know, I'm probably not going to shoot you with a shotgun in your chest. And he's like, I'll put a pillow there. And the mate was like,
yeah. That is such a good idea.
Just clicks the shotgun into action. Let's go. And I don't know how far away he was when they shot him, but I imagine it was close range. By the story,
I don't think it would really matter that much.
No, but by the story, I imagine it was close range. Like, the matey stood like 20 foot away and he was like, come closer, I'm tough as nails.
Put it right here.
I'll survive it no matter what. Because
I know it's going to bounce off.
I can imagine him beating his chest beforehand as well, like, come on! You can just imagine it though, can't you? Just absolute ridiculousness. I can't imagine. When we went on that tangent and Dyatlov passed, the way we came up with this episode, I can't remember the whole tangent, it was something about mooses.
Did we go on to Katy Perry though at a point as well?
I don't know how we got there, but we came to this episode idea and we were kind of saying embarrassing ways to die. Because I said one time I crashed my car head on.
Listening to Katy Perry.
And Katy Perry was playing and I thought, oh my god, at least I'm not dead because that would be embarrassing. And we were saying about, like, you know, we couldn't die in an embarrassing way and it, like, be well known. Imagine going down in history where investigators are like, you died in one of the most preventable deaths we've ever experienced. Even the guy who was feeding bears peanut buttered sandwiches, even the guy who was pelting himself against a skyscraper window, you, my friend, you're the worst.
This guy is the worst.
But then some people like being the best at being the worst.
Because I mean, at least you're infamous for something.
Yeah. If you can't be the best, just try and be the worst. And you're still the best at being something.
And they're like, well, you're still talking about me now, so...
Oh, God.
Imagine, like, your name is renowned for that. And then your son or daughter is just living their life. And they're like, oh, your dad's the guy.
He's in the Guinness Book of World Records.
He asked his friend to shoot him. And he's like, yeah.
Just look in the dictionary, dumb ways to die, and there's a picture of him with the pillow. No, and I don't know if he had like a wife or a family, but how angry I would be if Kieran did something like that. Like, if Kieran was like, Rich, shoot me, I'll just put a pillow to show how tough I am, and he wouldn't, but I would just be like, you idiot.
They're just psyching himself up. Like, yes.
And I feel like I wouldn't, like, the grieving process would be made quite easy, because I'd be like, ick. Ick.
Literally dodged a bullet there. Oh god. This one is called The Farmer Who Tried to Blow Up a Cow. And we're going back to the US of A, 1920s.
Why would you try and blow up a cow?
I'll tell you why. He decided that was the only option. On a remote farm, a man discovered a cow that had died overnight. It was summer, the heat was rising, and he didn't want the carcass attracting predators. Instead of burying it or calling for help, he decided on a quicker solution. dynamite.
Why didn't he just start a bonfire? He'd do the same thing as dynamite.
He placed the explosive under the cow, lit the fuse, and stepped back. The explosion was enormous, far bigger than he expected. The cow disintegrated into chunks that rained down across the field. One large piece of bone and tissue flew straight at him, striking him in the head with lethal force, and he died instantly. The cow, ironically, caused more trouble dead than alive.
Why did he not just start a bonfire? Maybe he just had dynamite hanging around and he was like, I've been waiting for an opportunity to blow something up.
Boys and their toys.
I'm glad the cow wasn't living, because when you first said it, I was like, oh no.
When I first saw the story, I was like, I hate that, and then I read it and I thought,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, this one isn't it's not a dumb way to die as such, but it's got an embarrassing quality to it.
Okay, like Katy Perry when.
And like it spiraled into a bit of a legend. So this guy had a vacuum cleaner, and he looked at it and thought, that could be used in a good other way.
Given Scary Movie.
He manufactured it, and it won't tell me on Google how he manufactured it, but he manufactured it into an adult toy. And basically, investigators found him dead with the vacuum cleaner nearby. So it spiraled into legend that this guy had died from getting a happy ending from a vacuum cleaner. But what had actually happened is the guy had a heart attack, and the vacuum cleaner was just nearby, so it was obviously in the report that he had been doing that. But he didn't die that way. But everyone reported it that way because obviously it's the perfect legend to like spiral into. But I just can't imagine that, you know, that's such
being outed like that.
A private thing that you've done that, you know, is so seedy and so weird.
Something you thought no one would ever find out.
And the fact that it wasn't even the thing that killed him, he just had a heart attack nearby. I don't know if he used it and it made his heart go all...
Yeah, but surely if that was the case, it would still be...
I think they just found it nearby and saw how he manufactured it and knew what he was using it for. But then when I kept looking up, how did he manufacture it? The AI bit on Google was like, for safety reasons, it's not been released because they don't want other people doing it. And I was like, I don't want to know how to do it for those reasons. I just want to know what the investigators saw that made them know it was used
feel like
for that
I know
purpose.
what they know. They're like, this is not dust inside.
I was thinking a bit of like maybe
because
an
who
adult
would turn
toy
it on?
kind of attached to it, and then
Do you
like,
mean it's got like googly eyes?
I don't know. Maybe he writ on it Helen or something, and they like, why is this vacuum cleaner called Helen?
It's got like a bra around it.
Yeah. Oh, he was doing that, but I felt like they kind of, I don't know if they, because it wasn't like the coroner said it was a heart attack and nothing to do with the vacuum cleaner.
My mind was like, is this how Henrietta Hoover came about?
But I get that they need to investigate the scene, but I don't know.
But why are they turning it on? Surely, so they must have known another way, which made me think.
But I don't know if did they. What I'm trying to say is, did they really need to include it in the report? Did they need to release those details? To
They
the
did him
public?
dirty.
They did him so dirty. So it's not even a dumb way to die. It's just embarrassing. If you're doing stuff like this, maybe, I don't know, disguise it a bit better, because if you just have a heart attack one day, the police are going to put it to the newspapers. And then the newspapers are going to assume you died doing that. He died how he lived.
What a way to go.
Because when I first read it, I was like, oh, he must have got so excited.
I thought it would have like popped
Or like
blood.
Or kind of maimed him in that way and he bled out. But then it was like, oh no, that's just a rumour that he died whilst doing that. It's just he had this vacuum cleaner in his home.
Maybe it just started with, oh no, because it was in the report, wasn't it? I was going to say like someone attended the scene and they told their friends about it, and then their friends told their friends about it.
No, I'm sure it was in the report that he had a vacuum cleaner nearby that had been modified to do that. Which, again, what did they see? But if anyone knows, let us know in the comments down below. And don't try it at home. I think that's the main thing I'm trying to say, is just don't try it at home.
Just use it for
It
cleaning.
didn't kill him, but
It's embarrassing.
There's a range of things out there now that you can get that isn't a vacuum cleaner that isn't going to be so embarrassing to put in a report. Basically.
Okay, this is my last story, and we're going to Russia, and it's actually quite recent. And the title is "The Man Who Used a Grenade as a Hammer."
I'm surprised he didn't survive because Russians are built differently.
Yeah, but a grenade. This was in 2017. In a small Russian village, a man was doing repairs in his shed when he realised he'd misplaced his hammer. Instead of looking for it, he grabbed the nearest heavy object, an old grenade he'd found years earlier and kept as a souvenir. He used it to drive a nail into a piece of wood, and the grenade detonated. Neighbours heard the explosion from several houses away.
Did he not have anything else that could just hit a nail into a piece of wood?
Emergency services arrived to find the shed destroyed and the man killed instantly. The nail, ironically, was perfectly embedded in the wood.
Surely you would have just had even another plank of wood. That would have worked better.
Police later confirmed the grenade was live. Something he had apparently never bothered to check.
Maybe he thought, if I don't pull the pin, it's not going to go off.
Well, I've had it long enough that if I was going to blow up, it would have done it by now.
This is my last one, and it's from the series on Netflix that's like 100 Ways to Die or something.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good one.
Is it the one that's like 101 Ways to Die in the Wild West?
And do you know what's funny? They bring different experts on, and I remember one of the experts being called MJ Weedman or something. And just, you know, professionals, when they have their titles in a documentary, like psychologist or whatever, this guy's professional title was cannabis connoisseur. I was like, how do you find this? I probably have a picture of it that I can put up, because I remember I took a picture of my TV and was like, what?
That's such a fancy way of putting it. I imagine like a monocle.
And you know, like in court, people have, you're defined as an expert and they define an expert. He had obviously met that criteria to be defined an expert in cannabis. So
A connoisseur, no less.
This isn't the story that went with him, I just remember that was from that documentary. But this is one of the more memorable ones from the documentary, because I remembered it and then I looked it up to find it. So, it's called The Peeping Tom Who Got Himself Stuck.
Oh my god.
He'd been spying on his neighbour for months, slipping around the apartment complex late at night, convinced he was too clever to ever get caught. But one woman in particular had become a focus of his attention. Her bathroom vent sat low on the outside wall, and behind it was a narrow maintenance gap, a space never meant for anyone to enter. To him, it looked like the perfect hiding spot. One night, driven by curiosity and arrogance in equal measure, he squeezed himself into the gap. The space was barely wider than his shoulders, but he wriggled deeper like a worm, pressing his face toward the vent for a better view. The problem was simple, though. He had no way to brace himself. When he shifted his weight, he slipped further down, wedging himself between the walls like a cork in a bottle.
Oh.
He tried to push himself back up, but the walls pressed against his ribs, pinning his arms and compressing his chest. He couldn't move. He couldn't shout about what was going on because he didn't want to reveal himself.
I mean, at this point, just shout.
Hours passed, the air grew stale, and his breathing grew shallow, and in the end, the very hiding place he thought would protect him became the trap that sealed his fate. And days later, maintenance workers followed a strange smell to the wall cavity and discovered the truth. His downfall wasn't bad luck. It was the simple, crushing irony of a man undone by his own secret.
Ugh.
That's probably the one who I feel bad for the least.
And also, that would really creep me out.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, and now I'm paranoid that there's people in my fence. I'm just trying to live my life.
Like, you can't imagine that as well, being like, well, why was he in the wall? And they were like, he was trying to get a better view of your bathroom.
What do you mean a man sitting down my vent?
And why is he my neighbour?
And would you have smelt that in your bathroom as well?
And been like, what's that smell?
Oh, it absolutely honks.
So imagine if you did shout out and you're just like on the toilet and you hear, help, help me. They can barely talk. Help.
Oh.
You'd be like, Hello.
Where is this coming from?
Where are you? Oh, I was just spying on you.
Doesn't matter where I am. Where have I
hi,
got
Denise. How do you know my name?
Oh my god. Doing your 10 a.m. shit like you always do.
I knew you'd be in here at this time. So yeah, he's the one I feel sorry for the least because, like, if
That
you're
is
gonna be a
creepy.
peeping Tom, like,
I just don't understand. Like, my claustrophobia could never. Like, when people do those, what is it called? Just the caving thing where they go through. I can't remember what it's called.
cave diving.
Yeah, but there's like a term. There's like a special term for it.
Oh, I don't know.
But I don't know why you'd want to do that.
No. No, I was going to try and find a cave diving one to do actually, because there's loads of ones that people just get stuck in these precarious positions, and you think, why did you go in? But it's people's hobbies and interests.
I also saw one. You know that I can't remember what airport it is, but you know the one with the creepy horse statue that everyone
Yeah.
thinks is
Yeah.
like it's a satanic something. A man got stuck and died in the leg of one of those, and no one knows why he went in. That's
Do you want to know something that I've just noticed that all of these stories have in common though? We haven't spoke about one woman. Not one.
We are built different in a good way.
When I did my research and I whittled down my best contenders, no women were even in the ones
We're
that
not
I
out
did.
here trying to prove shit, okay?
No.
That's the
What
difference.
do I need to prove to anyone?
I don't care.
And why are we trying to blow up a cow carcass? I've got better things to do. Get back to my
Got more sensible things to do.
Okay, we're going to end on Twisted Tongues for the next episode. If you're new here, Twisted Tongues is a little cryptic clue that we like to give people for our next episode topic.
Yes.
So comment down below if you can guess. A man rode the thunder with a ransom at his chest, stepped into the storm like a pilgrim on a quest. The sky kept his secret, the river kept his score. Tell me, who walks the wind and is seen never more? What are we gonna be?
Oh, what can it be? Let us know if you think you know. I think we get the most excited about it.
I do get a couple of DMs, like people I know personally, who give me their guesses, and
Yeah.
it makes me so happy when they get it right. I'm like, oh yeah, you got it. So I really do enjoy getting any comments. If you think you know, let us know down below. It's quite an infamous story, so I imagine that
Yeah.
people.
But
may
it's
be able
not
to guess. It's not
overtly
too hard.
obvious.
Yeah.
It's kind of a medium.
A
Moderate.
medium difficulty, because some of them are difficult, and when I'm listening to it in editing, I'm like, if I didn't know, I don't think I would get that.
Yeah.
But because I know, I'm like, obviously. But we'll end it there. Thank you for staying with us for this episode. I hope you had a good chuckle about human stupidity.
Yeah, we definitely did.
The fragility of men.
That's the takeaway. We'll see you next time.
Comment down below if you've
There
got
we
any
go.
stories of dumb ways to die.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on the episode? Give us a like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
See you later.
Bye.